Live from the Crescent Moon Temple, it's the morning show with your host, Tolinar. It's time to play the music, switch all of the cameras on. It's time for the morning show, and I'm doing it on my own with Kitty. That's right, just quickly check the chat room. One moment. There is nobody home. It's time for the morning show, and I'm doing it on my own. I guess I'm going it alone today. The host, the guest, the audience, it's what I'm here to be. There's no one out there watching. This all depends on me. But that's nothing unusual. It's just another day. And I'm sure that I can do it all if I do it my own way. Okay. Get up, Twitch integration. All systems are good to go. Just one quick mic inspection. We're fine for audio. Pick a topic, a conversation, something I ought to know. Modern news is too confusing. I think I'm just gonna go with something like food processing, play some video games, maybe blueprints. Try not to go insane. The host, the guest, the audience, it's what I'm here to be. There's nobody else. Wait a minute. How did we get it 3? Is this report accurate? Hi there. Well, this is nothing unusual, except that someone else is there. How you doing? We're gonna just keep on with the morning show. Good morning. Start the music. Okay. Yeah, that's a little loud, maybe. Can we bring that back down a little? Let's see what we do about getting that level. How about there? There we go. Just like downtown. Wow, that was exciting. For a moment, I had 3 viewers. 2 of them are me, but I can't have 3 instances of Twitch open. I've only got 2 devices. So there was definitely somebody else there for a moment. Good morning, everybody. Today is the 6th of January. It is a nice Tuesday. Good morning. It appears that there's a 3rd viewer with 2 copies of me and someone else flickering in and out. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Today's topic of discussion is the joy of the senses. We're gonna talk on about. Hang on, I'm gonna change the way I've got this set up just a bit. That's on the loud side. I'm always tuning my setup around here, trying to come up with something that sounds decent in my zone. I think we're good. Although my tea needs sugar badly. So let's get my tea set up. Tap, 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 tap. Nice heavy caffeine. I like my Earl Grey. So, the joy of the senses. This is primarily linked to our need for entertainment, which all roots out of drive 6. People think that being bored is not such a strong motivator, but the truth of the matter is, boredom is our habit engine telling us that we're being non-productive, non-useful, that we're messing it up. Boredom is the habit engine's way of saying, can't you do better than this? The habit system is the unconscious monitor that makes sure that all of our needs are getting met. That all of the things that we wish to achieve are getting done. That they are happening. And very important, let me get this theanine in my tea, that we are reaching our full potential, which cannot happen. It can fail to happen, that is. One last little shot of Hupersia, and now we're out of that. I don't know if that was effective or not. I do know it's on the oily side, though. Probably going to do that in the future. We are listening to Kentaro Sato and the Budapest Symphony Orchestra forming the soundtrack to my life, Stardew Valley. Ah, nice caffeine, nice caffeine. So, we should discuss the nature of habit. Now, habit is one of the 7 cardinals, and I've been harping on about the 7 cardinal motives for the last couple of days. Habit in particular, the habit network, consists of the average person's need to do unique and interesting things. It comes down to the senses. We seek to experience things that are special and good and joyous. And there's no sugar in my tea. How did I fail to get sugar in my tea? Put everything else in my tea. I just didn't manage to get any sugar in there. We are surprisingly sensitive. We can tell when something is wrong right away. No sugar? What do you mean no sugar? In an instant, I knew. Tea is an incredibly complex compound, full of cyanins and allicins and this and that and the other thing. It is a hot water infusion of cooked leaves that had been fermented partway for superior taste and caffeine levels. It is such a large, detailed composition that one would hardly think that the presence or absence of a few sugar molecules would make a difference, and yet, in one taste, so much better. In an instant, I know, no sugar versus sugar. The body breaks down across a number of senses. Whether we have a 6th one, that's a discussion for another topic. We're going to focus on the primary 5: sight, hearing, audio, touch, and taste. Did I get that right? No, scent. Sight, scent, audio, touch, and taste. Scent is very important. People seek better for themselves. And our senses tell us what is better. It is a highly tuned machine of feedback. Now, we do have pain receptors. That's a type of sensation. And we have internal biofeedback, right? So biofeedback is classified as all of those things that we feel from inside of us that tell us what's going on within our own little world. Things such as getting hungry, stomach growling, or feeling thirsty, or feeling stressed, maybe feeling cramped, feeling bloated. All of these sensations are internally driven. That makes them biofeedback. When we sense things from the external world, that's what we mean when we talk about the 5 senses. And the 5 senses teach us what's going on in the world around us, what is good and what is bad. Each one is especially well tuned. Our skin, for example, we use it to keep our balance. It's very sensitive, although not incredibly so. Things can still move across the top of our skin without our notice, but only if they're clever enough not to touch the hairs. The hairs that emerge from our skin act as super sensitive receptors, while the skin itself has some touch noticeability and can be tuned to be even more sensitive. The hairs are extremely sensitive. They pick up vibrations and impacts and anything and everything. The minute it feels something, it reports on it. The hairs are our first alert warning system that something is moving around on us. So if you want to cross the human skin, you have to not touch any hairs at all. You can walk on the surface of the skin itself, and you might go beyond notice, especially if you're a very small creature. But if you touch one of the hairs, we are instantly aware of your position. They are very vibration sensitive. Then there's audio. We're capable of hearing a number of octaves of audio waves thanks to our ears. In the same way that we're capable of seeing roughly 1 octave of light. The nose is perhaps one of the most interesting senses in that it's capable of detecting billions of different things. Very detailed device. And it only takes a moment to know what you're smelling. Between strawberries and bleach and burning tire rubber. First, we receive a concept of whether we like what we smell or not. We automatically know, oh, that's offensive, or oh, that's heavy, or how pleasant, that smells very nice. Well, the olfactory system uses the size and complexity of the molecule to say whether or not we should be in the middle of a panic. A bad smell can immediately tell us that something is wrong with our world. On the other hand, a good one can tell us we are in a very happy place and that we should maybe linger. We follow our noses. And then there's taste. Taste breaks down into 6 major senses also: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and burned, plus pain. Yes, that's right. Hot sauce is only pain. It does not have a flavor. It does contribute to culinary worth, but not in the way that you think. Anyways, enough ragging on people. Wait. I'm yumping along here. We're gonna make it. When it comes to the senses and how it's wired into habit, it's a very delicate reception network that tells us whether our conditions are worth keeping or not. And it uses a very complex process to determine whether or not we should be bored with our surroundings, whether or not what we're doing is worth any time. Novelty is good, but certain things transcend novelty. It is possible to see something that is so beautiful and wonderful, and the fact that it's not novel doesn't matter. It is also possible to see novel things that are completely insignificant and pointless, and our senses are just like, yeah, okay, that's something I've never seen before, but I don't really care. Passing on the roadway type effect. We hunger to have good sensory experiences, to the point that it has given rise to the entire culture of cooking and music and perfume. All these industries spring from attempting to create grand sensory experiences. Sensory experiences worth keeping, worth having. And it's not possible to have positive experiences every moment of your life. That's just not how the senses work. You're going to eventually encounter things that are less pleasant. But there's always a familiarity factor as well. When you first get near a farm, odds are the scent of manure is going to put you off. It's not a very fun scent at first, but if you get used to smelling it, it fades into the background. This is called going nose blind. But every sense is able to do it. We have built-in filters to remove common smells, sights, sounds, even flavors. So the first time we encounter something new and different, it catches our attention. But the longer we are exposed to it, the more likely we are to say, oh yeah, I know what that is. We don't got to worry about that. That's normal. And this can have unexpected repercussions. A person can become used to things that they shouldn't become used to, like unfortunate smells or a cluttered house. Because it's what we're used to seeing, we don't resolve the problem. I hear a cat. I'm pretty used to the cat. It's on its way down now. I've laid down to have a chat. And cat says, you're in a spot where I can flop on top of you, so I'm on my way. It's looking at me. It's coming down. Here it comes. Here comes that cat. Hi, Mana. How are you today? Yeah, is that what you got to say? Say hello to the morning show. Good morning. Cat's like, I ain't doing this shit. Sorry, kitty. I'll leave you alone now. Yeah, I know. In seeking the best version of ourselves, we are constantly forced to question whether we are wasting time on things that are unimportant, whether we are investing effort into a situation that is non-productive or even counterproductive. And our senses are one of those things that tells us how we're doing. If we're constantly exposed to sensory damage, it wears on us. We want to get out of there. On the other hand, if we're constantly surrounded with positive sensory experiences, it slows our feet. We're not so eager to leave. The environment, you're a product of it. That is one way to view the world. It's not entirely true, but there's some grain of truth to it. Yeah, kitty. Oh, I know. You want all the attention. Okay, fine. Here you go. Here is some all the attention. Poor cat is dying over there because it didn't get pet in 7 minutes. Wait, we're all right. Cat's like, I'm out of here. You're coughing. Yeah, I know. I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm just being a move. So, habits. Over the course of a period close to 3 weeks, when we do a behavior specifically, repeatedly, the habit network checks for satisfaction. We eat this. How good does our nutrition level seem? How fast does our hunger return? Do we encounter any stomach problems? Do we have any discomfort? Do we feel tired afterward? The habit system keeps very careful score. How good did this taste? How good was the after effect? Its whole goal is to act like the invisible scales and then silently decide what's worth doing, what is not worth doing. And the same thing happens when we decide what to spend our time doing, what we invest our effort into, what we direct our attention, our focus at. Now, there is an override that the human mind can access. But this only works so far. Let's say a person wants to do something that isn't any fun, right? Let's say they're going to force themselves to do the dishes. The key to this is to force it into conscious behavior. An incredible amount of behavior is unconscious, handled by the habit engine. Like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Just give me a minute, I'll put it together for you. So we stumble to the fridge and dig something out and create a food dish in the same way that we have created it for the last 9 years. And there's no thought involved in the process other than instant problem resolution, such as locate the jam, please. There it is. Thank you. Jam cap is stuck. Can you provide a little bit of focus? Thank you. Okay, we're unstuck. I'm good again. And habit rolls through the procedure. It is important because the amount of conscious attention we have to go around is very limited, actually extremely limited. And the longer we go without resting it, the more taxed it becomes. Now, getting to exercise that conscious thought is a joy and a wonder, but it's also tiring. So, habit takes over. Like a beautiful automatic machine. It's like, oh, I know how to do this. You don't got to worry about this. You don't got to think about this at all. I'll just do it. You can take occasional peeks to make sure the procedure is going well, and then in a few minutes we'll have tea. It'll be no trouble at all. Or here, let me make you an egg. Yep, I know how to do this. Butter, some oil, heat. That's the way the bubbles should look right there. Now we crack and add the egg. Good. Sprinkle salt just now. You have to wait until I can see the egg flapping with the bubbles right there. Okay, flip the egg. We flipped it too soon. That's okay. The yolk broke, but it'll taste great. I'm not worried about a bad yolk. Okay, it's done. Get your pan. Where's... Okay, conscious brain, we need to locate some silverware. Help out. Okay, thank you. We found some. And now it's eating time. Conscious, it's all you. And the conscious mind steers between certain specific focuses. I know a lot of people brag about doing more than one thing at the same time, but that's all habit engine. The conscious mind can really only focus on one thing at a time. It can retain up to 7 different things in memory and switch between them, 9 with practice, or even as many as 14 if you're a grandmaster. But the average person is 5 to 7. You switch between things, but you can only really focus on one thing at a time because that's the nature of focus. That's the nature of attention. You can only pay attention to one thing at a time because paying attention means only looking at that one thing. So, the conscious mind stops everything. Whoa, we're eating an egg now. So we get a bite of egg on the fork and we're eating the egg and we think to ourselves, man, that's a lot of protein. Oh, that's very rich. This was well salted and I wish I had some hot sauce. And that's an egg and I'm eating the egg now. And this was a good butter. I like that butter. And there's a good crispy fry part. Anyways, so the mind becomes extremely granular as it starts responding to sensory information in real time. That's the nature of eating. We can also eat in automatic, where we're busy doing something. We're scrolling on Twitter or drawing up a blueprint or doing something like that. We're doing A while habit takes care of B, and eating can be that thing, but I prefer it not to be. You see, although habit can take over when receiving sensory information, it doesn't have to and it shouldn't. You don't fully enjoy the senses unless you allow the conscious mind to take over, even though it's the habit drive that's ultimately going to say how much we enjoyed it, and the habit drive will get final verdict. You'll have a much better experience if you allow the conscious mind to drive the event. Anyways, I was mentioning earlier how you can trick the habit drive into doing something that it normally would not want to do. This is called the conscious reach. So let's say we wanted to do dishes, and habit's like, no, there's no point in dishes. Dishes don't do us any good. We don't like that. It's a labor. It's a job. We have no recorded benefit. Dishes are not it. So We consciously think to ourselves, dishes have to get done. I'm going to do the dishes. So you consciously focus on doing the dishes, and then habits just sitting back thinking, okay, I'll just do stuff over here while you're busy doing dishes, I guess. And the habit drive does take very careful track of what comes next. Like, oh, we have done dishes and the following things were noted. 1, the cat is going bonkers. It is play fighting, nothing on the edge of the bed. This could be correlated with the dishes or it could be not. Also, the house is much less cluttered. Oh, and we didn't have to look for silverware this morning. When we were making tea, we just grabbed it. We knew exactly. I didn't need any assistance. So this did reduce our conscious burden quite a bit, actually. And there were some unintended side effects, like the cat freaking out. Documented. So the second time you consciously force yourself to do dishes, whoa, the cat freaks out and gets under the bed this time. The habit drive says, I think there's something wrong with the cat. But then it notes, okay, this time there wasn't a whole lot of change. We still had to search for the cup. Although we didn't have to search for silverware. It's nice having all the dishes clean. It's nice being organized. It can recognize when things reduce the logical burden, when the smells go away. Habits like, hey, we don't have to nose block something right now. I think keeping things clean has improved conditions in here. So over the course of about 18 to 30 days of doing something consciously, habit says, you know what, this is cooking. This is working for us. I like this a lot, actually. I think we should do this from now on. And whether that this from now on is serving yourself a cup of tea and supercharging your brain with caffeine every morning, or drinking a cup of water or getting some emergency in your system so that you don't get sick over a long period, or playing with the cat so it stops going berserk in the morning. It didn't work, unfortunately, so playing with the cat has basically been scrubbed from the schedule. The cat plays with us when it wants to. Hi, Mana. Are you okay? Are you bored to tears? Yeah, I understand. What? What? Do you want to play? Is that what it is? What? All right. I'll get the window for you. Hang on. I'm a coming cat. You have every right to have a good sensory experience as me. I'm lying in bed talking to the universe. You're thinking, my God, this guy's going on. Okay, here we go. Here comes cat, and the window's open, and the cat's in the window. I go, thank God, fresh air. Okay, good kitty. Meanwhile, I'm climbing back into bed. Back to talking. So, by performing a conscious override, we can build new habits. But no matter what conscious behaviors we want to pick up, it is the habit engine that is the judge, jury, and executioner of what behaviors should actually get done. All we can do is set forth trials. By choosing our conscious behavior, we can try things out. But the habit engine will eventually override and be like, here's what we're actually going to do. The habit engine is perfect. It is great. Unless you get addicted to something. Then it gets damaged. And nothing is sadder than a damaged habit engine. Because it interferes with everything and requires constant conscious battling in order to get past it. It's such a shame. Most people's habit engine is perfect. Perfect for that person. Perfect for that personality. So when somebody is like, well, I'm very artistically oriented, then the habit system evolves accordingly. It is the deeply ingrained satisfaction that habit is chasing. Habits like, I'm bored because none of your current conscious behaviors are working for me. Build me a new habit. And that's the one thing the habit drive can't do. Build new habits. What happens is the actual behavior can morph over time. The physical occurrence of behaviors and actions can change and will change to suit the environment slowly over time. But ultimately, the habit drive requires the conscious mind to build behaviors. And after doing something 2 to 3, 6 times or so, the conscious mind has memorized the steps, and habits like, all right, I think I see how to do this. Leave it to me. I'll take care of it from now on. And then you can space out. You don't have to focus. And it doesn't matter how complicated the task is. You can be cutting a piece of butter off of a loaf of butter, or you can be driving a forklift, and habit will take the wheel. Like, sure, we're just operating the human body, right, to accomplish a complex goal. No problem. The unconscious mind is just as powerful as the conscious mind. So anything the conscious mind can do, the unconscious mind can copy. So while the conscious mind focuses entirely on understanding, forming logic, building patterns, grokking the universe, understanding everything on a granular scale as well as on a universal scale, and making sense of it all, the habit engine is keeping very close track of patterns and building out heuristics to achieve specific goals, learning how to adjust to physics and nuisance as they crop up here and there, all the while silently keeping score as to which behaviors are effective and which ones are ineffective. And when habit realizes that we are in a series of patterns that are very good at satisfying all 7 motives, or all 6.5 motives, so we are comfortable, we feel like we're important in the world, people care about us, we have a strong sense of art and beauty in our life, we're getting to explore the universe at our own pace, and we feel like the world is treating us fairly. Habit says, yeah, every box checked. We're having a grand old time. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, yeah, this is good. Then it takes one last peek. It says, well, everything is fine. Do I want to venture out and seek something more? And when our behaviors fulfill most of our drives, but not one or not two, it generates specific type of pressure, but habit pressure is special. Habit pressure says, our current behaviors, are they actually satisfying our needs? Or are we going through the motions? Are we trying to achieve a satisfaction effect from a behavior that doesn't work anymore? Does this cup of Earl Grey tea taste as good as it used to? Or am I really quite done with Earl Grey? Is my nutrition level where it should be? Am I still getting energy from caffeine? Do I need to switch to coffee? And so it goes that humans revamp their habits over time. You aren't doing the same thing you did when you were 7 years old, and that's normal. The screaming and yelling and running through the house to get mom's attention is not so effective when you're 44 years old, is it? No, not so much, no. Habits are required to change to make do and keep up with an ever-changing universe. The world around us doesn't hold still, And so habits have to change with it. But habits are designed to simplify the world. The unconscious mind and the conscious mind share the burden. They are equally important, even if only one of them can be consciously controlled. You have to understand the shadow half of yourself, the unconscious self, has desires and needs that are identical to yours. But what it doesn't have is the same approach. You see, the conscious mind looks at the ideals. It views the possibilities from the lens of, which things would I like to say I do? I'd like to say that I keep a clean house. I'd like to say that I keep my dishes all done. So let's try to force ourselves to do that. And habit's like, okay, I'm watching. Go ahead and hit it. Here comes Cat. Cat got bored of window. Cat's like, the best stimulus is not in the window anymore. It is right on top of his chest. How you doing, kitty? You caught some nice fresh air? Was it windy? Yes, we had a windy day today. It was a windy morning. It was howling all morning. And that means for fresh air. Kitty loves to hunt, unfortunately, and Kitty is going stir crazy from boredom because most creatures have a subconscious/unconscious processing system that automates processes. In other words, most animals have habits, cats included. And when an animal's habits aren't working, it seeks to do something new and crazy. Like, we got to change our behavior pattern. Does a cat have a conscious mind? I don't know. I know it's got an unconscious. And emotions are something else again, aren't they? Oh, yes, they are. Emotions are a story for a different day. We'll come back to that. Right now, we're talking about habit. So we got this unconscious drive, which pushes us forward by automating tasks. And the unconscious mind and the conscious mind have the same needs, exactly. But there are restrictions, important ones. You see, the conscious mind is connected to two systems that the unconscious mind is not. These are constructs. In particular, the construct of the id and the construct of the superego. The subconscious doesn't have the ability to quantify, doesn't know how much they have, doesn't know about supply and demand, it doesn't care about value. All it cares about is habit. In the same token, the unconscious doesn't really understand emotional connections. It doesn't really understand intimacy or social building. Now, the subconscious does understand the hormonal stew. Oh, yes. That is a form of biofeedback. It is, in essence, a section of Drive 1, but it's such a large, detailed section, it deserves its own motive. The unconscious intimately knows pain and discomfort and keeps close track of what causes it. It also knows when it wants to have some good old-fashioned mating, and it will motivate behavior accordingly. It has a very strong connection to the hormone stew, and it can lead to some dicey decisions when it insists on having satisfaction and it doesn't have an effective habit pattern. You're like, hey, you know what I want, you got to get moving. Well, the unconscious mind doesn't care what is socially acceptable. And the unconscious mind doesn't care about keeping careful count. It does have a sense of disgust. It does have a sense of aesthetic. This core brainstem level understanding, which we'll come back to, aesthetic is its own conversation. The unconscious mind just doesn't think logically. It has its own system. It thinks pattern-wise. So it will behave in a socially acceptable manner when that is the pattern. It will behave in a socially pathetic manner if that is the pattern, and it won't feel a thing either way. It's the conscious mind's choice to say, what we're doing now is socially acceptable. What we're doing now is not socially acceptable. And what is and isn't socially acceptable can change dramatically. We have blinders built around habit, where we can get out in public and drop our pants because we're in a bathroom and that's normal. I know it seems stark, but it's that way. With behaviors that we normally would consider completely inappropriate, there are times and places where we simply give it a pass because that's what habit says to do. And it didn't start that way. At first, it was extremely socially awkward. But then, over time, we got used to it. We built a habit around it. So, things that would be considered terrifying or confusing or depraved or awkward just become normal. You'd be surprised what sorts of behaviors can become normal. There are lots of times where people act in ways that if they calm down and consciously think about it, they'd be like, oh, I'm not behaving in a very good way, am I? Road rage is a good example. Usually road rage is born of habit. People habitually feel anger and form blinders, social blinders, and stop behaving in a socially acceptable manner. Sometimes they don't even behave in a manner that's befitting of survival because habit overrides survival. They do something stupid and get in a car crash. And if they survive that, they're all the more likely to do it again next time because of habit. Habit overriding survival instinct. See, Maslow's nuts. If Maslow were taken seriously, there'd be no such thing as road rage. People would understand that getting angry at someone else on the road is just a way to endanger one's own life. You need to focus on protecting yourself. But our survival instinct isn't that strong, not compared to habit. Habit decides everything when it comes to that sort of thing. So whenever we switch to unconscious thought, our shadow self, which doesn't care about being good or evil, starts to take over. It doesn't even involve puzzle solving. It's just following the heuristic. Now, the conscious mind builds those patterns, but it is in fact the unconscious mind that sticks to them. So, I think we've gone over habit with a fairly good fine-tooth comb. We understand the basics of how this works. So how do we control it? We do a good job. We suggest good ideas. We propose fun constructs. We expose it to the joy of the senses. When we eat food that is beautiful and we expose our senses to many positive things, habit says, this one's a winner. We're coming back to this. Just as easily, negative sensory experiences can motivate habit to stay way away from certain behaviors. So when the people say that you are a product of your environment, this is what they're referring to. You will become habitually used to whatever it is you spend your time on doing. This is also why people say you are what you do, not who you want to be. Because habit will take over on some level. And you might find yourself engaging in behaviors that you don't necessarily approve of. And that's just part of the existence, you know. We do our best. We all do our best. That's what habit is all about, doing our best. Sometimes there is a limited range of effectiveness. But you know what my habit says? My habit says, you've been talking for close to an hour. Your throat is scratchy. You're kind of peckish, a little hungry. You know what would be real good? You know what sounds real good? For the last couple days, you've been having big old glasses of lassi. I want that yogurt drink again. Go get another one. So I dig in the fridge, and the pitcher's right where I left it. Give it a shaky shake. And dump some stuff. Oh, but it doesn't look the same, so now I'm curious. Is that okay? Did that turn out all right? Is my yogurt substance turning? When things differ, it catches our attention. But habit is a powerful motivator, so I'm going to drink this chunky white liquid. Tastes beautiful. This is good to go. It just got a little thick. That happens with yogurt. Boy, that's good. I'll teach you how to make it someday. It's just half and half milk and yogurt. If you have an Instant Pot, nothing could be easier. Boy, that's nice. Moments like this, moments where you can feel your nutrition being fulfilled, when you can feel intense satisfaction and comfort all at once, these inspire habit. Habits like, we want to get back here again. So why don't we make this a more common affair? Now, habit is delicate. One bad experience can counterbalance 10 good ones. If a spider were to suddenly crawl out of my drink, just imagining it now is putting me off of lassi, even though it's fake. In this way, the imagination can color habit's outcome. The habit is resilient. Like, nah, there was no thing. It's just good yogurt. And that's healthy for us, and it tastes good, and it's comfortable, and my throat feels better already. And maybe it looked a little chunky, but the whole drink went down smooth, and there wasn't a single lump in it. It must have been an illusion. And the more you see the illusion, the more you realize, that's nothing to worry about. So someone who sees it the first time is creeped out. They're like, oh no, I don't want a chunky white liquid. That looks bad. But then, after 3 to 5 times drinking it, you're like, oh, never mind. It's just an illusion. It's because the liquid is viscous, so it comes out in lumps. But there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly smooth all the way through. That's so nice. Humans can adapt to anything, given time. We learn what is truly disgusting and what is fine. I'm going to close this window because it's rainy and nasty outside, and I don't want to be cold. Tomorrow, I go back to work. Why don't we discuss competition and collusion, the AB scenario? That's a really good one. Although I'd love to continue talking about the 7 cardinal virtues, competition and collusion is an excellent dichotomy of justice. It's a good way to discuss what is fair. And it's an important topic. Today, for the rest of the schedule, let's see here. I want to play more blueprints. If you tuned in yesterday, boy, have I got news for you. I think I might have cracked the code. Again. For a different puzzle. Again. The pictures! I know what the pictures mean! At least some of them. So, it's, surprising, I guess is the way to put it. I have to figure out there's more, I guess there's more. I think I might do a video game design stream, because I kind of want to build a video game. I kind of like video games. We could do video game design. I could do some music. I need to do the dishes. I could attempt to draw myself again. I might wait a week on that one. I might not. We'll see what the day holds. I know that right now, my cat is looking at me with satisfied eyes, and I've had a nice big yogurt. I feel pretty satisfied with how things have turned out today. I could put some socks on if I wanted. But for the most part, it's been a really good morning show. I think we're going to go ahead and cut it here. Thank you, everybody, for watching the morning show. I got a lot of things to do, so I'm going to jump out there and get to it. See you later.